All right, traders, the watch list video for Monday, August 23rd. Starting off showing you the SPY as I always do. We had the gap down on Thursday and it ran, and then Friday continued to run. So we bounced right back up. We held that 50-day area I talked about a couple days ago, and we bounced right back up, flirting with, I don't want to say flirting with, but fairly close to all-time highs again. I just worked, I don't know, half a day on Friday, mostly because, as you know, August trading sucks, and had some nice trades in the books. Show you a couple of them. JOBY, you remember I had that on Bounce Watch going into Friday, and then I just called it, I mentioned the flag break over 9 idea, and there's the 9 break. And it never looked back. It still didn't happen like really fast, but over the next, few hours, it went up to 1040-ish something, 1044, I think. And percentage-wise, in a few hours, it's a really nice percentage gain, right? I also mentioned SONO in chat because that was on Bounce Watch, and I mentioned it long. Second mouse through 37 with the high of day, just 6 cents above that, and it took its time too, but over time it went to the high, I think 37.86, but never really looked back after the entry. So a couple slow trades that worked out decent. Anyway, there's a couple highlights from Friday. Let me go into, and I don't have a very big list again, let me go into Monday. And this one probably doesn't look that pretty to you, right? But it was on the gap playlist on Friday because it was gapping up, and I'll switch to, say, 15-minute candles here. Let me pan out a little bit. So there's the gap up, and it sold off, and but started to curl up at the end of the day. So I guess where it's interesting to me, it's definitely a former high flyer. When I say former, like not too long ago, like late June, I think it had a crazy rally. So what I'm really looking for is maybe a gap up and a break of Monday's high over 585. Might just get it through. I'm sorry, a break of Friday's high might just get it through Wednesday's high of 608. But again, when you go to the daily, you think, hey, that chart isn't that pretty, Mike, right? But here's the big rip, and it's just gone down into just next to nothing. But, had a pop on Wednesday and another gap up on Friday. So if it gets up above one of those, areas, I think maybe this one catches a little mini short squeeze. Certainly, when I say short squeeze, usually that implies shorts are in big trouble. That's where a squeeze comes from. I wouldn't look at this chart and say shorts are in much trouble, right? But you might get a one-day move if we get over those areas. So anyway, I explained that for such a long time because it's an ugly chart, and I'm certainly not in love with it. ALF had the big 2-day rip last week. Put it on Bounce Watch after this red day. I did not take a trade in it on Friday, but it did put in a green day. So I'm looking for, my attitude is, okay, well, it turned back up on Friday. I'm looking for a potential long. It had a really nice 2-day run last week, so that's why that one's on watch. ESGC, I'm in trouble, right? When my watch list has a 58-cent stock on it. But this had a really big move on Wednesday. It went from 50 cents to 74, and actually after hours that day went all the way to $1. Anyway, but then you had a gap up on Thursday, red day, and then gap down on Friday and another red day. Let me go to 15-minute candles to show you this one too. So it had this big pop, and then the next day it almost broke above, but never got anything, and then today a gap down. But when you break it down, you still had a big rip, and then you got 2 days lower, and it's a partial retracement of the big day, right? Still a partial retracement. So if it's going to turn back up, I'd certainly like to do it. I'd like it to do it on Monday. So anyway, that one's on watch. Again, I'm in trouble when I have a 58-cent stock on my list. Meaning, when I say in trouble, meaning there's not much out there as far as good setups right now. Fubo goes back on Bounce Watch. It held support, but look at this. It looked like nobody was trading it on Friday. Friday's high 25.67. So over that could be considered a catalyst. Thursday's high I can't talk today. 26.17. But it did hold support. Again, it doesn't feel like a lot of people watching this, but I'm looking for a bounce play setup on Monday. I already talked about JOBY, the call I made on Friday. It's kind of an ugly daily chart. But I don't know, a week and a half ago maybe, it went all the way to 1433 before it fell off the face of the earth, and now it's curling back up. So this one can move, and it really did this. Let me hover over this, give you the numbers. From this day, it went from 1061 to 1433. So like almost a 40% move maybe in one day, and then came all the way back down. So this one can move at times. Gonna watch it. FLGC had a big rip. I was kind of mad at myself. I did not realize they had earnings. I guess it was maybe Thursday after the bell. And so on Friday, I didn't pay much attention to it. I had it on Bounce Watch on Friday. But for me, when you switch to 5-minute candles, typically a bounce play just shoots up straight out of the gate, I'm probably not going to catch a trade in it. Had I realized that they had earnings on Thursday night, and as I said in chat, we got to do a better job at the teamwork there. If anyone in chat knew that, you should have said something. I should have known it too, right? Because I had it on my list. But as a bounce play, I'm not usually looking for earnings. Anyway, long story short, it just fell off the face of the earth into earnings. I didn't realize they had earnings, and it just jumped straight out of the gate. The pullbacks were playable. I never traded the damn thing. But anyway, it had such a big move, and you could argue that it got so beaten up into earnings that Friday's nice day might have a follow-through on it, all right? Might have some shorts caught. FULC, kind of obscure, but it ripped. Somewhere in here they had an offering, but it's holding up really, really well after the offering. So I do want to keep my eyes on that one. A couple more, HYZN. This one's getting a little extra volume lately, and it's putting in, let's go back like a few weeks maybe, that was 844. Let me double check that. 844 high, then this day, 840. Then on Friday, 871. So it's kind of building. It's putting in higher lows. Again, another chart I don't love, but I want to keep an eye on it. And then lastly, DYAI, speaking of charts I don't love, had the big rip, had a nice secondary move a few days later, and then came all the way back down. It's doing next to nothing. It didn't even trade 600,000 shares on Friday. But I do look at this and say, okay, it had a big rip, came back down and held support, right? It held that area between the 8 and the 20. It's really held this area really nice and starting to curl back up. Maybe it comes back into play this week. I'm not in love with this list, but hopefully there'll be some good gappers or some good news plays on Monday. I'll see everybody in the chat room tomorrow morning.